Ever pondered over how new medicines come into existence and how they're developed? It's a question that sparks curiosity, and rightfully so. The world of pharmaceuticals is a fascinating one, riddled with complex processes, breakthrough discoveries, and a constant pursuit of knowledge. This industry, often seen as shrouded in mystery, is responsible for the life-saving drugs we use every day. The journey of a drug, from its inception as a mere concept to its transformation into a pill in your medicine cabinet, is a long and intricate one. It's a process that can take over a decade and billions of dollars. Imagine this. A single new drug is the result of countless hours of research, numerous trials, and an extensive approval process. All this to ensure that what reaches you is not only effective but also safe. So what does it take to transform a mere concept into a life-saving drug? Imagine you're a scientist and you've just discovered a potential drug. What's next? Well, the journey to turn a potential drug into a life-saving remedy is long and arduous, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. The first phase in this journey is the discovery phase. This is where the magic happens, where the raw material of science gets turned into potential healing. The process of drug discovery involves identifying active compounds, genes, or enzymes that show promise in treating diseases. These promising components, often referred to as targets, are like keys, and the diseases they can potentially treat are like locks. The task of the scientist is to find the right key that fits the lock perfectly. Once these targets are identified, the real work begins. Various chemical substances are tested against these targets to see if they can affect them in the desired way. This process is not unlike a game of darts, where the aim is to hit the bullseye. But instead of a dartboard, we have a disease, and instead of darts, we have chemical substances. The scientist will throw hundreds, sometimes thousands of these darts in the hope of hitting the bullseye. Each dart represents a potential drug, and each hit brings us one step closer to a cure. But hitting the bullseye is just the beginning. Once a potential drug is identified, it needs to be tested rigorously to ensure its safety. This involves a series of in vitro, test tube or cell culture, and in vivo, animal tests. The primary goal here is to determine the drug's safety profile, that is, to understand its potential side effects and how it interacts with the body. This process is painstaking and requires a great deal of time, effort, and resources. But it's absolutely crucial because safety is paramount when it comes to developing new drugs. Now we have a potential drug candidate, but is it ready for the market? Not quite yet. Before a drug can be tested on humans, it must go through rigorous preclinical research. This phase serves as a crucial checkpoint, ensuring only the safest and most effective potential drugs proceed further. Preclinical research is like a detective meticulously examining all the evidence before making a case. It painstakingly scrutinizes every aspect of the potential drug, from its chemical properties to its biological effects. The primary goal? To evaluate safety and efficacy. Safety evaluation is paramount. It's like a safety net, catching any harmful effects before they reach human trials. The potential drug is tested for toxicity, and this involves assessing how the body absorbs, distributes, metabolizes, and excretes the drug. These tests help determine the safe dosage range and identify potential side effects. Efficacy evaluation, on the other hand, is about understanding if the drug works as intended. It investigates whether the drug can produce the desired therapeutic effect. This is where the drug's mechanism of action is studied in depth. These evaluations aren't just conducted in test tubes or petri dishes. Animal studies play a pivotal role in preclinical research. These studies allow researchers to observe the drug's effects in a living organism. They offer valuable insights into how the drug interacts with complex biological systems, laying the groundwork for future human trials. But it's important to note, positive results in preclinical research don't guarantee success in human trials. There's still a long road ahead, filled with challenges and unknowns. Every drug that passes this stage has proven itself in the laboratory. But the real test? That's still to come. With a successful preclinical research, our drug is one step closer to reaching the patients. But there are still some hurdles to overcome. The journey of drug discovery and development is a long, complex, and fascinating one, revealing the sheer dedication and diligence it takes to bring a single drug to the market. It's time to see if our potential drug works in the most critical test subjects, humans. Now, let's delve into the world of clinical research. This is where the rubber meets the road. where the potential drug is put to the test in the most consequential of all laboratories, the human body. Clinical research is a pivotal phase in drug discovery and development, and it consists of several meticulously planned stages, known as clinical trials. The first phase of clinical trials, called Phase 1, typically involves a small group of healthy volunteers. The primary aim here is to evaluate the drug's safety profile, determine a safe dosage range, and identify side effects. Essentially, we're asking, is it safe? Then we move on to Phase 2, where the drug is administered to a larger group of people, often those affected by the condition the drug is intended to treat. Here, the main focus is on the drug's effectiveness and further evaluation of its safety. In other words, we're now asking, does it work? Phase 3 trials involve an even larger group of patients. This phase aims to confirm the drug's effectiveness, monitor side effects, compare it to commonly used treatments, and collect information that will allow the drug to be used safely. In this phase, we're essentially asking, is it as good as or better than what's already out there? Finally, in Phase 4, after the drug has been approved and marketed, it is studied in several thousands of patients to ensure its effectiveness and monitor its side effects in a diverse population over a longer period. This phase answers the question, what happens in the long run? The importance of volunteers in this phase cannot be overstated. Their participation helps researchers uncover better ways to treat, prevent, diagnose, and understand human disease. If our drug passes these trials, it's almost ready for the world. But we're not there yet. Once our drug has proven its effectiveness and safety, it's time for the final review. This is where the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, steps in. The FDA is a federal agency responsible for protecting public health by ensuring the safety, efficacy, and security of drugs, among other things. The FDA review is a critical step in the drug development process. It involves a meticulous evaluation of the new drug application, or NDA, submitted by the drug manufacturer. This application contains all the data and information collected during the drug's discovery, preclinical research, and clinical trials. The FDA review team, composed of scientists and physicians, scrutinizes the information to determine whether the drug's benefits outweigh its risks. They evaluate the drug's effectiveness for its intended use, its side effects, and its potential interactions with other substances. They also assess the proposed labeling and the methods and facilities used in manufacturing the drug. But the FDA's role doesn't end once the drug is approved. Post-market safety monitoring, also known as pharmacovigilance, is another critical component of the FDA's work. This involves monitoring the safety of drugs once they hit the market. Reports of adverse events from healthcare professionals, patients, and manufacturers are collected and reviewed by the FDA. This allows the agency to identify new potential risks and side effects that may not have been apparent during the clinical trials. If a serious safety issue is identified, the FDA can take action. This could include updating the drug's label, restricting its use, or even removing it from the market. This ongoing monitoring ensures that the benefits of the drug continue to outweigh its risks for the intended population. And with that, a new drug is born. But remember, every drug you see started with a single idea and went through this painstaking process. So, there you have it. The journey of a drug from concept to your medicine cabinet. We've journeyed through the fascinating world of pharmaceuticals, starting with the discovery phase. Here, scientists identify potential drug candidates and test them for safety and efficacy. Next, we delved into preclinical research, where these potential drugs are tested on cells and animals to ensure they're safe for human trials. We then moved on to the clinical research phase, where the drug is tested on humans in controlled environments to assess its safety and effectiveness. We capped off this journey with the FDA review and post-market safety monitoring. This is the crucial phase where the drug is scrutinized by the FDA for its safety and efficacy before it's approved for public use. Even after the approval, the drug's safety is continuously monitored. That's all for today. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe because you won't find me later.